Merry meet and welcome. Welcome to the realms of mysticism, the occult, and magic, where your possibilities are only limited by your imagination. Welcome to the Witch's Cauldron and discover the knowledge you seek. Gather round the cauldron and even stay for a spell. Brightest blessings to you. Merry meet and welcome to the Witch's Cauldron. My name's Paula. Today I want to talk about the full moon in Aries that will occur on October 20th, 2021. Now, already October 2021 has been an astrological roller coaster, and we are sliding into one of the most powerful full moons of 2021. The energy for the first part of October was, I'm going to just say it, it's been like this for just about everyone that I know. Their energy's been off. They've been having a lot of issues with insomnia and migraines and headaches and just feeling completely drained. And particularly if you are if your sun sign or you have significant placement in your chart of one of the cardinal signs, that is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, it's even more amped up in the house where any of those signs fall in your natal chart. I also believe that the Aries Pluto square that started in 2020, still going on because Aries and Pluto are both extremely slow moving. It's going to continue on into 2022. This is a time of a crossroads for a lot of people, so be very, very thoughtful and deliberate about what paths you choose along the way. For those of you who are devotees of Hecate, this would be a particularly important time for you to work with her. As I said, this full moon on October 20th is going to be one of the most powerful ones that we have seen in 2021. It's going to occur at 27 degrees 26 minutes of Aries on the 20th of October at 7:56 a.m. Pacific in the U.S., which would make it 10:56 a.m. Eastern in the U.S., 1:56 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 2:56 p.m. in the UK. From those points, you can figure out your time zone. This full moon is all about social change, and it can even be very combative, and I'm going to say like forceful, like this is how it's going to be. And there's going to be a huge pushback from that kind of trying to push from the top down and force the will of the masses to do something. The tough things that are going on in your life right now are probably going to get tougher. So this is a good time to figure out where you want to focus. Now, just in general, we are still in Libra for a couple of days. And this is normally a very peaceful sign, a sign of balance with a focus on legal issues. And this is going to be really focused on because Libra is conjunct Mars at 23 degrees of Libra. So Mars is that combative, I am kind of force. Okay. So there may be a lot more come out regarding, legal battles, what's right, what's for the good, greater good, things of that nature. There is a great possibility for, because of the alignments, many what we call systems, like political, financial, medical, legal, educational, they are likely to suffer some sort of collapse. And it's going to continue for a while because Pluto is just slogging its way through Capricorn. And this will dig up corruption in high places. It's going to put the truth out there. More and more truths are going to be uncovered, but this pain and this breaking down will be in the long run for the greater good. The Sun and Mars are going to be in opposition of the Moon and Eris in Aries. And Aries is another assertive warrior type of energy. That Aries, I'm here, I exist, and I matter kind of energy. And there's going to be a lot more pushback against government crackdowns, government control, freedom versus, having your life micromanaged by the government. Sun, Moon, Mars, and Eris are in a T-square to Pluto, okay, at 24 degrees of Capricorn. Eris represents the female awakener. And when I say female, I'm talking energy. I'm not talking biology, okay? So please don't come at me in the comments for that. It's energy, okay? Period. I think more people are going to have their eyes opened to corruption, to the truth being hidden or trying to hide the truth. I think a lot more people are going to be coming to some sort of realization or awakening during this time. At the time of the full moon, Mercury is our four planets that were in retrograde are, stationary direct, with the last one being Mercury coming out of retrograde, and it's stationary direct in storm status for about another week now. So communications and issues with your computers and your communication devices, your cell phones, everything, it's just going to be crap for another couple of weeks, another week or so. We, as a collective, have hit a kind of energetic tipping point. Something's got to give. There is still that demand of equality with Mercury and Mars in Libra, and also fighting for justice. And this is fighting for what is right, for the greater good. This is going to continue into November. Remember that full moons bring your emotions up. So because Mercury is still in storm going direct, mind your words. Because I know that right now, as I am filming this, I hate just about everybody and everything. So I'm just kind of sequestering myself here, trying to write it out before I say something to people that I care about. that would probably eviscerate them, because that's just how off my energy is. And I rarely get like this. Remember that Mercury at 10 degrees of Libra is in opposition with Chiron at 10 degrees of Aries. And Aries, Mercury will be acting as like a voice for those who feel marginalized, those who are sick, those who have been wounded. And remember that Libra is one of the cardinal signs, so is Aries. Capricorn is a cardinal sign. These influences, cardinal is at the beginning. They are action oriented. Your fixed signs are that's what they are. They are fixed. They're rather, unbending. They're pretty, constant. And then the mutable signs are the ones that are ever changing and shifting. Okay, so remember that from an energetic standpoint. The focus on Libra and its energy right now can make relationship issues really flare up, especially if you are in an unsatisfactory relationship. And I'm not speaking just of romantic, but of friendships as well. Because we have this energy with Mars and Pluto and Aries, like I said, just be very careful that you don't get into arguments that you will regret. And there may be arguments about control and dominance in a relationship, and you may end up saying things that you regret. Remember, you can't take those words back. The 21st of October, Mars will be in exact T-square with Eris and Pluto. So this is going to be the day after the full moon. And remember, full moon energy is the night before, the night of, and the night after. So that full moon energy will still be in play. Things are going to be very, very combustible in general on the 21st, which is the day after the official full moon. But that full moon energy from does carry forward. Okay, there is a focus in general on death and rebirth, and on the 20th, Haumea is conjunct the sun, and more widely Mars at the full moon, exactly opposing the moon and Eris and squaring Pluto. So this is a lot of death and rebirth. Focus on the birth, the new, what you want to create. Don't focus on the negative stuff. You have to let the old stuff collapse, release it. It's kind of like going through a crucible, okay? It's got to be burned down for it to be rebuilt. Don't spend your energy keeping things that no longer serve you on life support just because they might be comfortable, like relationships, friendships, etc., etc. Saturn is getting ready to enter into its final exact square to Uranus. Okay? And that will occur on the 24th of December. I think that this is going to bring a lot more economic volatility. If you go back to 2008, when we had the big collapse, Saturn and Uranus were in hard aspect. Okay, Saturn is at 7 degrees of Aquarius. Uranus is at 13 of Taurus. But as we get toward the end of the year, it's all about the old versus new, control versus freedom, and individualism versus suppression of freedom. When Saturn moved into Aquarius on the 22nd of March, large parts of the world went into lockdown. Saturn moves out of Aquarius in March 2023. We may have more freedom at that point, but remember, the square between Saturn and Uranus is about the new, being Uranus. Uranus is that kind of chaotic energy, okay? Social, which is the Aquarius, and structure, which is Saturn. This is bringing forth that energy of new Earth, okay? We also need to remember we have an unusual grand trine in Earth with Saturn at 7 degrees Aquarius, Mercury at 10 degrees of Libra, Black Moon Lilith is at 10 degrees of Gemini, and they are widely conjunct the North Node at 2 degrees. So these alignments are about new social structures, Saturn in Aquarius, that are fair and just, Mercury in Libra, but they also take into account our deep, instinctive need to connect with nature, which is Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. This is a focus on feminine energies and fertility. That is the life force in nature. As magical practitioners, we already have a very deep understanding and connection with the earth, with the elements, with spirit, and this is going to put an even deeper focus on it, and you are going to feel the pull to go back. Like right now, I am feeling the pull to move back to Appalachia. I am feeling that need to go back to my roots, to my place of happy in the mountains, okay, and get away from the suburban environment that I live in right now. That call has been getting stronger and will continue to really escalate through that grand trine. Throughout all of this kind of chaotic, up and down roller coaster, what the heck, remember to ground and center. I spend at least 10 minutes a couple of times a day just sitting, listening to some like chill Zen kind of music and doing belly breathing, you know, that sacred breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, breathing from the diaphragm, fully expanding, taking everything in, and making a conscious effort to try, when I start feeling so out of control in my anger and getting into the negative, that is when I'm very purposefully taking a moment to ground and center. Okay. Now, this full moon at 27 degrees, 26 minutes of Aries is in T-square with the moon and only 6 minutes from an exact square to Pluto and transiting Aries. The Sun and Mars are in square aspect as well. This is, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This can be an indicator of just complete economic shit show. It's also, I'm going to do another video on the Pluto return for the United States. And I'm going to get into this even more, but I think that it's going to be I think there's going to be extreme economic issues. I think that there's going to be even more issues about constitutional matters and how much control the government actually constitutionally has on our personal rights in the United States. And I know I just kind of zoned everybody in Europe and in the southern hemisphere that follow me, but it's going to be, and it's not just going to be in the US, but it's going to be particularly troublesome, I believe, in the US. Venus moves retrograde at 26 degrees of Capricorn on the 17th of December until the 29th of January. This puts the focus on relationships, and when retrograde makes us think that they are not satisfactory, especially if somebody is trying to control us. Okay, so just be aware of that theme through the end of the year. But Venus is also linked to money, wealth, and currency. Capricorn is linked to banking, big business, stock markets, and payment systems. So on Christmas Day, Venus retrograde will be exactly conjunct Pluto at 25 degrees 43 minutes of Capricorn. And the final square between Saturn and Uranus is on the 24th of December. This also is an indicator of economic turbulence. So just remember that. This is a strong sense of economic and financial system collapses. Okay. But remember, Haumea is opposing, both transiting and the US Pluto that I'll go about. And Haumea is about regeneration, creation, birthing of new earth, and things like that. So what does this mean really for us as magical practitioners? I think that what you need to focus on is, for us, to focus on what feeds us, what feeds our souls, what nourishes our bodies, what gives us joy, okay? What we want to bring with that, okay? And realize that in the process of it, don't fight if things and people fall out of your life, okay? Because they no longer serve you. They no longer bring you joy, or you are in like some sort of codependence, or where you're the one that does all the giving. Bring forward that energy that you want to attract. Don't focus on the negative. Focus on connecting with people who are of a like mind with you. And we have to kind of tear down ourselves and rebuild for what we want to see ourselves to be, for what we envision for ourselves. So this ritual should be all about transformation and rebirth, death and rebirth, and go through it without fear, knowing that it will bring something better to the greater collective. Remember that it's very easy to lash out, so mind your words. So, big themes: stay grounded and centered as a magical practitioner or anybody who has like psychic abilities, anything like that. I do think that there will be a greater increase through the end of the year as we, especially as we closer we get to Samhain. There's going to be a bigger, I'm going to throw it out there. There's going to be a lot more paranormal activity in a lot of places. You know, you guys saw my last, if you saw my last video, you saw an orb go right behind me. And I left it in. I didn't cut it out. So I was just like, okay, you know, be very, listen to your guides and guardians, listen to your intuition. They will lead you where you need to go. Do not dwell on what no longer serves you or what you find lacking in your life. Instead, focus on a positive direction and coming up with a plan how to get there. Okay, so that's it for this video, my friends. Be sure to be on the lookout for my US Pluto return predictions. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a member if you enjoy the content. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help me in the algorithm and gets my videos into the recommended. So with that, my friends, as I always say, merry we did meet, merry we will part until we merry meet again. Be well and walk in love and light, everybody. Bye.